Welcome back, piggies, or should I say, welcome back, turkeys,
Go.
to a Thanksgiving episode of the Pigskin Pals podcast. We're going to be going over all the Thanksgiving games, as well as doing a special DFS lineup just for those slots. So it will be a little fun, little extra DFS this week. Without further ado, baby, let's get stuff right into it.
Okay, here are the matchups for this Thanksgiving slate, and we're not forgetting about Black Friday. That game is in here.
True.
Also, it's not in our DFS lineups, unfortunately, but the first game on our dock is Chicago at Detroit. This is a doozy of a spread, 10.5, favored in Detroit's way, but still a crazy over-under at 48.5, and then you can see our points per game along the side, so Detroit is allowing 7th least and 3rd least to wide receivers and running backs, and then Detroit is also pretty stingy through the air, but allows quite a bit of points to the running backs. So when I first looked at this game, I was like, I'm going to be smashing these lines of running backs. I don't know if that's what you were picking up, but I was like, this might just be a grimy game that Detroit can just pound the rock with like they did last week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the update on Demont. Are we expecting him to play? Do we know?
I don't know specifically, but I mean,
If he
I'm
doesn't,
totally fine with just
Jameer is just
going all in on Jameer this
Yeah.
week.
I don't hate it.
If Demont plays, then yeah, you're definitely putting him in your lineup.
Yeah, I think, Detroit's going to win this game. I think they could get up early. So I think this could be I think DeAndre Swift or any of the Bears running backs are probably going to be unstartable, or at least I wouldn't do it if I had to, or if I didn't have to. But I think Caleb's probably going to be throwing a lot, so all those receivers could be worth a shot. Just garbage time points, just being down, chucking the ball. I think that's something that come into play. And Detroit's really weird for me because it's like, this is a game where I expect Jared Goff to not put up a whole lot because I think they're going to run a lot. But that means he's going to throw like 5 touchdowns. So that's how I feel.
Possibly could. I don't see them needing to do that at all. Honestly, they could just say, go enjoy Thanksgiving with your family. We're going to put Henry Booker in this week.
They could. That would be kind of cool,
That would
honestly.
be crazy. One thing that I've kind of realized by watching a couple of Bears games recently is the roles of their running backs are so vastly different. Like, Swift has that passing work. He's actually getting, like, long targets, too. But
Yep.
Roshan is that solidified goal line back.
Absolutely.
Every single goal line carry goes to him, and it seems like they end up on that 1 yard line so much. I've seen him on some waiver wires, and I've been really tempted to pick him up just because I am thirsty for some running backs, and if I needed to flex someone, like, it's a possibility that he just falls into the end zone and gets that touchdown.
I agree. I mean, in that same vein, you're talking about Swift being that passing down guy. He could get a bunch of just random dump offs this week, so maybe he's just a reasonable play just based off of that if you're in like a PPR league of some kind. So
yeah, and
moving
Kittle
on.
played pretty good. We can talk about that game too. Did you watch that? The
I
Bears game and the
did not,
Vikings game?
because I was watching the other crazy game of the week, the Cowboys versus the Commanders, the other crazy ending, so I didn't get a chance to see this game.
Yeah, they were both mayhem. But do you know what happened in the Bears game?
I have like the general rundown of it. I didn't see it though.
No.
Crazy stuff. Hey, the Cowboys, here we are. This could be a game. Cooper Rush versus Tommy DeVito or Drew Lock. We'll see which quarterback plays for the Giants.
Is there talk of switching to Drew Lock?
He was hurt. He got hurt in the last game.
Interesting.
So they're saying he's not 100% if he's going to play or not. So I would lean to him probably playing.
You gotta have cutlets on Thanksgiving.
You gotta. Dude, did you see Baker's celebration, dude?
Yeah.
Just the aggressive, like, that shit was awesome. Anyway, both teams are not particularly good against the run. But I will say the Cowboys defense has been, like, slowly improving. Now that they got Micah back, they've got Deron Bland back. Hopefully Trayvon's going to play this week. So they're not really slouches these days. But the Giants, on the other hand, their run defense has been pretty poor. So maybe fire up that Rico Dowdle.
You are a big fan of Rico. I'm kind of just trying to avoid this game if I don't have to play anyone. Like, my one player is going to be CD, and if you're really leaning on Neighbors, you're going to have to put Neighbors in too. But besides those two pieces, I really don't want to play anyone, even like Tracy or someone. I don't want my Thanksgiving ruined.
I think this is almost giving me like everyone looks at it like, oh, this game's so gross, 2 bad teams. This is giving me like this is going to be 35-30 type game because everyone's so down on it that it's going to flip and like the defense is just going to not show up and it's going to be sick offensive game. That's what I hope almost, but you never know.
I don't know. Vegas knows all, and I think
that's true.
This is the lowest over under on the week.
Wait,
by
do they though?
Large.
What was that Cardinals game last week? Wasn't that like the highest over under and there was like no points to it?
Yeah, that was insane.
I hate
Seattle
that,
came to
that
play
sucked.
on defense. Yeah, that screwed over our DraftKings lineup so badly.
It did. But we can move on. Your team, the Packers.
I'll be in Lambeau supporting my team, unlike AJ supporting his team. But I'm picking the Packers this week. They have a 3.5 favorite spread, a 47.5 over under, one of the higher over unders. Same with tied or 1 point less than the Bears and the Lions. Two pretty good defenses. I still haven't been able to really watch any Dolphins games to see how good their defense has been, or if it's just been
they've played some slouches recently.
Yeah, like I feel like their division's really bad. They play slouches, and then they're also just not really putting up a ton of points besides the past couple of weeks to make other teams put up points. But these points per games allowed are also just the last 4 weeks, so we are trying to catch those trends. Dolphins have been playing better. I'm kind of picturing this to be more of a shootout style, but one thing I came across of was Tua playing in cold weather and how he's 0-4 in that. So it's going to be a cold game in the 20s.
I was thinking, and for the first time ever, I'm backing the Packers heavily in this game. I think this might be like a real boring game to watch. I think Miami might struggle very, very heavily in this game.
That's what I'm thinking, especially as a Packers homer. But then on the other hand, I'm thinking of all the speed on their team. I'm thinking of like Tyreek. I'm thinking of Achane, Waddle. Like I'm like, who on our defense can actually run with these players and defend them? Like Stokes is our fastest player, and he's not that good in coverage. I don't know how we're gonna do this. Heffley's gonna have to pull something out of his bag. Hopefully we'll get a couple turnovers. That's why I was leaning towards more of a shootout.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. I think going forward, the Packers might lean a lot on Josh Jacobs like they did the last game. I think that's going to be, especially with Jordan Love's been a little bit suspect with turnovers and stuff like that. I think they're going to lean on Josh Jacobs and then let Jordan Love, off some play action, make some big plays, big throws like he had to Christian Watson that hopefully maybe get caught next time. So that's how I see how their game plan going. With their defense the way it is, I think that's a recipe for success for them too. So
I like that take a lot. I would even just say all the running backs too, even maybe with Lloyd coming. I don't think he's coming back this week, but when he does come back, we've seen Chris Brooks, who's a nobody, and Emmanuel Wilson get plenty of work, get some work right away when he's finally healthy also.
Yeah, I really wish we got to see more of him this year. I hope maybe he comes in at the end of the year with
Dude,
all
he has
stuff
the worst
going on.
luck ever. Did you see what happened?
It was like he came off IR and he got pneumonia or something like that. I don't remember what it was.
No, he had appendicitis. He had his appendix removed.
Appendicitis, yeah.
He's like, guys, I'm back. My ankle healthy. Wait, my appendix just
I kind of like
bursted.
random dynasty thought. I feel like he's like, if you can get a guy on the down low, like he's probably pretty cheap these days. I might go and try and get him for a third or something like that. Just to take a shot on a guy for next year.
I'm not sending him to you.
I know you won't be, but everyone else in the world who's not playing with Packer fans who own Marshawn Lloyd, I think you could probably get him on the down low, and it could be a nice little dart throw for next year. This is Black Friday now at this point, so this won't be part of our DFS, but we got the Chiefs and the Raiders. This is going to be a gross game, I think.
Yeah, this spread is disgusting. Minshew's going to be out. It's going to be going to, is it AOC
Ritter.
or is it Ritter?
Ritter. AOC is injured still, I think, so it's only Ritter.
And I don't think I've ever seen, since we started building these playbooks, basically, or primers, a 12.5 spread, which is insane. This is just going to be all Chiefs.
I think we could get like Patrick Mahomes had a pretty good game last week. I think we can get another big Mahomes game. Vegas hasn't been that great again. I think just like really all the Chiefs players will probably have a good game. But I think Mahomes could have like a vintage Mahomes big week.
What surprised me about last week for the Chiefs was how much the Panthers hung in there and gave them like a run for the money.
That's been the Chiefs' thing this year for some reason. They've been close. Like almost every game is a close game. I feel like they don't separate as much as they have in the past. I feel like so
they don't run up that score at all.
Yeah, exactly. Like their offense hasn't been as explosive. So maybe we're wrong and this game is going to be close. But I don't know. I don't see it. Also, the Panthers have been on more of an upswing. I feel like as of late, they're not like the same fully like rollover team that they were in the first couple weeks. So maybe that's
Raiders are the new Panthers. Basically.
I kind of feel like that might be the case. So who knows?
But yeah, it looks like a good game for the wide receivers in general. Agreed. And then, if Pacheco or Hunt, I would still be waiting on Pacheco until I see him.
Especially with a week like this, too. You were kind of mentioning it last week with the Panthers, where it's a team where it's like, we're going to win this game. Do we need to use them all that much? On to the lineups, baby. What I'm excited for. I'm excited to see your Thanksgiving lineup. I'm excited about mine. I know we both got homer quarterbacks, which is fun. I think we're going to have very different teams just based off of what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I went kind of different from you, so I guess start it up. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, this will be interesting. I went with Jordan Love. I thought one of we only had 3 games to choose from, and I thought that probably has the best chance of 2 solid teams creating a shootout. So I went with him as my quarterback, but my running back 1 was Devon Achane. I went with him
interesting
as my RB1. It was difficult to pick some Dolphins players, but I was thinking Packers have been sus against the run in the past, and he gets a lot of passing work too. I feel like he could be that Swiss Army knife kind of slicing us up. But let's see AJ's running back.
Oh, you already know what's going on, baby. It's
Rico
Dowdle. It's Rico Dowdle. He was good last week. He had a fumble. He would have put up 12 points, which is great for the price that he is, at least in normal DFS, maybe not for Thanksgiving. But I don't know if you've watched any Cowboys games. He looks good. He is without a doubt their best running back, and he looks like a real NFL running back. It's not just all the touches he gets. So I'm excited about Rico. I think he could be a nice like complement to a real running back, like to like a rookie running back next year. So I'm excited about this, especially with the
I'm gonna take a stab and guess that you have CD and probably Wandale or Neighbors in your lineup too somewhere.
Well, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see.
My running back 2 is Josh Jacobs, a running back heavy this week, 2 of the most expensive ones. Pairing him up with Jordan Love, like you were saying. Maybe we're just going to be leaning on the run. And I was thinking he's probably one of the best running backs on the slate, so I was like, I'm just going to pair him up.
I think we're going to have very similar but opposite teams, if that makes sense. Pull up my next guy.
So you have Tracy.
I have Tyrone Trace. This is so funny. I love this. This is fantastic. Yeah, I mean, same thing. I think this is actually going to be a pretty high-scoring game. It's like 2 not good teams, but also 2 not like elite defenses. Because a lot of those games where they're bad teams, like one of the defenses is pretty good. Neither of the defenses is like all that good. And Tyrone Tracy has been pretty nice when he doesn't get benched for fumbling. Hopefully that doesn't happen again this week. Yeah, I mean, I'm all in on this game. Come on now.
I think it'll be really nice.
I want a disclaimer here. I want to be able to enjoy my Thanksgiving, and this is going to be a good way to do it.
This will be fun. All right, into the wide receivers. I got Tim Patrick as my wide receiver 1. DK did me dirty, but he was pretty cheap, and it looks like one of those games that the Lions can just run up the numbers. So I went with St. Brown in my lineup. Jameson's basically got probably the same hit rate as Tim Patrick at catching deep balls.
Yeah.
So like,
honestly,
like,
it looks goofy, but there it
you
is.
go.
CD Lamb. I don't know if you look at my first 3 picks. I got a lot of money to use here. So you might see some names coming up. CD Lamb, one of them. He gets peppered with targets. He had like 10 catches last week. I think this is a week where he may be able to break a big one or have a touchdown. So CD Lamb, he's a beast.
I'll start getting scared if you start veering off this game. But for right now, if you just keep loading money into this game, I'll be happy. My wide receiver 2 completes my Packers stack. The most reliable Packers receiver, in my opinion, in AJ. Got DJ Moore. He was getting a lot of work.
Went DJ Moore. A lot of work. And like I said, kind of when we were talking about it, I think they could get down. They're going to pass a lot. They're going to need to pass. And just sheer volume. Fairly cheap for a guy like DJ Moore. Breakaway ability.
All the analysis you need, guys. I like it.
That's it. That's all you need.
I went with
Wandale. There it is.
I finally got some skin in the Cowboys game.
Get some
afford
skin in the
Neighbors,
game.
but got the other guy that's going to get 7 or 8 targets. So pretty happy with that. AJ's 3rd is, wow, St. Brown. Damn.
Ra. Yeah, there we go. That's my kind of little mini stack there. We got DJ Moore versus Amon-Ra. Like, come on now. Like you said, Detroit's going to run up the score quick. I'm sure he'll be a part of that. And then DJ Moore on the back end, bringing it back later in the game with some of those points. I like that 1-2 combo right there.
You did curse him last week, though. Didn't you pay up for him?
Dude, oh my God. I don't understand. Every time I pay up for a wide receiver, I get bamboozled. It's insane. And guess who I had A.J. Brown the week before. Then the week after, he has a touchdown. I'm like, what's going on here, guys? Like, I'm
now
cursed.
You're sticking with him. I like it.
Wait. I know it's probably should mention this in a different episode, but I need to mention it. The Titans defense, pick running backs against them. I didn't pick them that week, and they still stuffed the dude. So just don't pick running backs against the Titans defense.
For tight end, no one else but Sam Laporta. Didn't pay down for tight end. It was surprising to see Jonnu Smith is the most expensive tight end on this slate.
Bro's been heating.
I think I'm just going to go with Laporta with the Lions.
Hey, better watch your mouth, son.
Oh, you got Jonnu?
Better watch your mouth, son. You better watch out, bro. Come on. Jonnu's been a freak, dude. He's the focal point of this offense minus Achane, I'd say. Like, he is the guy. And I don't have much faith in the Dolphins, but, like, there's not a lot of good tight end options. So I'm like, I'm going to pay up for Jonnu. He's been really consistent and just pray that it continues.
Can I just say so far, it is crazy how we haven't had a same player yet. And this is a 3-game slate.
I didn't even, I was literally, wow, that's actually crazy. I figured, I always just assume we have one, but.
This is going to be crazy. I mean, it might be here in the flex. I said I was going RB heavy this week. I got Jahmyr Gibbs in my flex.
Damn.
Spot.
I like it.
And AJ.
I like it. There's the
Jaden
same. There it is. Jaden Reed. Yep. I like it. I do like the Packers. I think they're going to have a good game. I think they're going to kind of give the work to Miami, and I wanted to get a little skin on that offense, and I had a good amount of money left, so I went with Reed.
All right, and defense, I went with the Lions.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You went with the
I
Packers.
went the Packers. I told you, I think they're going to smother them, so.
I mean, this is just going to come down to the Cowboys game and the Packers game.
Yeah, it's just their respective. I love that. That's fantastic. Like, this is a fun little, like, special DFS lineup. We get to both, like, bet on our own teams. I think it's a fun time.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for listening. We're going to pump out another episode this week where we're going to go over all the other games, and we'll have our DFS lineup for that full slate and then also our league picks. So stay tuned for that and keep an eye out for that. And don't forget to sack and subscribe that like button like it's Cooper Rush.
That's all right.